Okay, I've got a feeling I ended up sleeping in a car park yesterday. I arrived exactly when I said I shouldn't. I carried on riding till 10:30, and I had to stop because, do you remember yesterday at about 5:30 I said I need to try and get across the snow-capped Alps, and I didn't make it. It was 10:30 and I got so cold I had to stop, set up camp 10:30. But I'm sure it's like 3 feet of snow, but it was pitch black. I could see nothing, and I can hear car doors next to me. So I need to get out and see where I've actually camped for the night. It was so bitterly cold. I think it must have been down to -5 or 6. I'm wearing all my clothes. I didn't get out of any clothes at all. I'm literally just wearing my biking gear in my sleeping bag, and I'm still cold. This could be embarrassing if people are watching me. Oh my. Yep, I slept in a car park. Oh wow. That got really hairy yesterday. I didn't realise that it would take 5 hours to get from where I was pointing to the Alps for me to not even get through the Alps. And it got to a point yesterday at 10:30. I was just so cold. I couldn't make a decision. Do I carry on really, really cold and riding? Or do I pull up, set up the tent and hope that I may warm up in the tent? But of course the temperature then carried on dropping. And I had to actually sleep with my boots on as well. It was that cold. I don't know what the temperature is because I finished my goodie bag, or I finished my Saily mobile data, and I'm in a different country. I had Saily for France, and then now I'm in Switzerland. None of the plug sockets are the same as France or the UK. I stupidly forgot about that. So yeah, pretty much almost out on battery on a number of things, like my phone and stuff like that. So I haven't managed to check the temperature. But on a positive note, the ride yesterday, I was one of the top 10 rides I've ever done in my life. It was spectacular, really out of this world spectacular. If I can have done Switzerland, just by the few videos I did of it, 1% justice on how breathtaking this country is, then I would consider that a success. It's just one of the most exquisite countries I've ever seen in my life. The positive of being ice cold all night is that I've had an inadvertent, extremely unique experience camping, in essence, in a ski resort. The people in this car here, they've literally just put their skis on and they're skiing up to a ski slope now, from the car onto a ski slope. This is a properly unique experience that I'm not sure I'll do again. And I may have to move now because there's a van behind me and this is embarrassing. It's got to be 3 feet of snow, at least. I thought there wasn't any snow in Europe this year. Now the really unpleasant bit of unpacking the tent. Last night I couldn't really do it. It was so difficult because I lost all feeling in my hands because they were so cold. So I was just guessing. I couldn't even put the pole in the hole. Damn it, this morning's exactly the same. I need some gloves. So I hope I can make it down, because I don't know how far it is to get out of this weather. I think probably in reality I won't be able to do more than half an hour in this temperature, because the cold is so biting. So this will be very interesting to see how far away the descent starts. Start Bonneville. Welcome to Italy. After the polish of Switzerland, the border, the Italian border, looks a little bit like a semi-apocalyptic scene with disused buildings and the place in a slight state of disrepair. But importantly for me, I made it. I made it to my country destination, at least. Of course, I still need to get to Sardinia, but it's cost me so far, give or take a few pennies, £102 to make it to Italy. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'm now way down past the snow line. 260 kilometers in that direction is the port town of Olbia, where I need to get to get the ferry. But first off, I need to find a cafe to charge all of my stuff and upload a few videos from day one of the trip. So it feels great to be back in Italy. I love this country. So here we go. I've just spent the past couple of hours at this service station in northern Italy, catching up with a few emails and sorting a few bits and pieces out. If you do pop in here and do the same route as me, say hi to Mario and the team. They're such a nice bunch. I was trying to sort out the internet and they were all doing everything they possibly could to help me. I've had my first pizza in Italy and I'm set to go. I even actually went round the back there to have a shave, change of clothes, thermal socks off, all of my thermals off now, waterproofs everything, squeezed into my waterproof bag, because it feels like the second I came into Italy, I went from being ice cold to it feeling like peak summer. It must be about 23 degrees. It is stunning. I've got a decision to make now. I've just seen, I think, the ferries from Genoa on the Italian coast. I think they may go once a day, and I think they go at 8:30 p.m. It's now about 1:30. I need to decide if I race. I don't need to go that fast, but kind of get a move on and make it tonight. Otherwise, I'll have an extra day waiting to get tomorrow's ferry. Can't really decide. I think what I may do, I may ride there now to the port town of Genoa and just see what time I get there and see if there are any spaces on the ferry. I was having a look at prices. It's about 83 euros, so that is about what I was expecting. I feel so good though. Change of clothes, caught up with everything, and now summer gear, and I'm ready to hit the road. It feels like stage 2 now of the trip, i.e. really warm weather. And the backdrop of this service station is quite spectacular as well. You can just see the last of the snow-capped mountains all around me. Snow receding pretty quickly, I can imagine, with this kind of temperature, but just at the top, it's still there. Grazie. I'm off. Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Grazie mille. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
you.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
Good travel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
buongiorno.
Ciao, buongiorno. Piano.
Pieno?
Grazie. Questa è la tua?
La banda è la mia, sì.
Wow, bellissimo. Grazie. Buona giornata.
Buona giornata.
Do you, all of you, remember when you were younger? And if you'd be riding along, in fact, I'll show you this, there would be, when it got hot, a completely covered visor with loads of flies, whether it's on a helmet or windscreen of a car. That is covered in flies. Just realised that in England, at least, it doesn't really happen anymore. I think there must be so many fewer flies flying around, which of course must be a bad thing. It's just so rare that I have a completely splattered visor or car windshield. But I remember 15, 20 years ago, you'd constantly be spraying and wiping your car windshield because it'd just be so covered in insects. Feels incredible to be back in Italy. I love this country so much. It's got something about it. I'm making very good time. I forgot this bit of Italy, once you get over the Alps, flat as a pancake. It's like the Netherlands. So I think I'll do it, actually. 2.25 hours left. The time is 3:15, 5:30. 5:30. I should make it at about 5:30. Let's say 6 o'clock. I'm always a bit late. So there's a chance I'm going to be able to get to, it seems weird, get on a ferry and be in Sardinia tomorrow morning. Wow. I used to spend a lot of time in Italy. When I was back at university, I'd spend huge chunks of my summers and then time over Christmas and Easter in Italy. So I know, especially the area around northern Italy, quite well. And there's one thing that's quite sad. It's inevitable, of course, but it's still sad. The reduction in numbers of pandas. It's devastating. We must do all we can to protect them because they're such a fine sight. Those little Fiat pandas, there used to be one on every street corner. And now I've got this horrible feeling it's almost starting to become more of a novelty, a rarity. You have a panda if it's just a little passion project. I love Fiat pandas. I think that's the first one. No, I've seen two, but I'm sure even going back 6 years ago, I probably would have seen 30 by this point. They must be saved somehow. It's the 28th of March. And it has to be at least 23 degrees right now, at least. It's proper shorts and t-shirt weather. If this was England, this would be classed as an excellent day in the height of summer. And if you're Scottish, this would be weather warning advice. Stay at home. Risk of serious harm if you go out in weather like this. Cannot believe it. End of March. And it's this hot. It's incredible. Grazie. I made it, and probably with only about 20 minutes to spare, because I eventually, after a lot of trial and error, managed to find the passenger port. I think I went wrong about 4 times, getting borderline frantic. I went down there and said, yes, I'm here to get a ferry to Sardinia. And then they said, do you have a ticket? I said, no, I'll buy one here, please. Because in England, you can buy a ferry ticket when you get there. But they said, nope, sorry, if you don't have a ticket, you have to go to the ticket office in town. So I said, okay, I'll just pull up on the side and buy a ticket online, then come back. So that's what I had to do. But I just made it in time. I literally waited, I think, for 2 minutes before I went on to the ship. I've gone for the cheap option with no room. It's £92. I think I could have got it cheaper, but by this point, I was so tight for time, I just took the first one that I could find. So there's about £20 more than I hoped, but that's fine. It's okay. I'm actually on a little bit sooner than I thought. I thought in reality I'll get there for Saturday evening, but I'm going to get there. We're leaving at 8:30 tonight. We get in at 7:30 in the morning to Sardinia. I can already tell I won't be getting any sleep here. For one, I don't have a room, and secondly, the seating area where people who don't have a room usually sit, I know how this works, that's full. So it's pretty much going to be sitting bolt upright for the journey. On a plus, this is Italy. So the food quality is sensational. That is courgette and lime gnocchi with plated potatoes. And it's a proper event here. A lot of people are in their Sunday best, having glasses of wine. That the vibe is really good. This is a good times ferry crossing. When I finished ordering, the gentleman behind the bar, and they're all lovely, all of them, everyone's charming here. He said, "And which wine would you like?" And I said, "No, I'll just have water." And he raised an eyebrow at me, as if to say, "Are you sure you don't want wine with your drink on a Friday evening?" So I paid. So boring. I got my water, and I'm ready for the final leg before I arrive in Sardinia.
Si sa, noi del sud parliamo a voce alta, si sa, noi del sud facciamo discussione imposta, siamo allergici alle strisce, di restare in fila non ci riesce neanche ai funerali.